So we're super excited. We've already touted his success on our social media pages. We're just thrilled to have him on our team. Ben, the website guru, the creator of ways to make you money just one click away, like a URL. Exactly. He doesn't even know what to say to that. He doesn't know what to say to that introduction.
I'm glad to be here. Yeah.
Yes. So it's so interesting. We've had him on the spiel a couple of times, and I didn't forget. I remember you coming in years and years and years ago, like a decade ago, and we did some work together. I think you actually did sales and some other things.
Yeah, I interned. Yeah, I did sales at the time.
You just threw him in there.
Held a camera a few times, but yeah.
But you've decided that you like the website build.
I do.
Why?
I think it's one of those things, there's like the left brain, right brain, creative versus X's and O's. I think it's just like smack in the middle, and that's kind of where I like to sit. I'm not crazy creative, but I don't like punching numbers in, and it's about as smack in the middle as you can fall, and that's I think that's what it is.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
He's very good. He's very good. And it's not a painful discussion to have, but it's a discussion that everybody should have. You can have the most beautiful website. Mm-hmm. If it does not perform for you, you might as well put it in the trash.
Yeah, and odds are your website's not as beautiful as you think it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's the other side of that.
It's so true. It's so true. What is it that people are looking for? We hear it all the time. People are like, I just don't like my website. I don't like it. You use the word all the time, functionality.
Yep.
Make it work for you.
Yeah, it's all about the user more than it is the owner.
Okay.
So you could be the owner and land on the website and know exactly what you're talking about. But if your target customer is confused or doesn't think it's for them or doesn't even know what you're selling, it's not going to work. And then if they can't get to where they're trying to go on the website, if your whole goal is to collect their information to sell them your service, and that's not easy to find where that form is, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting how self-centered people are on their websites, and they think about it from their point of view where they know everything about everything.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So, but you have to think about your customer who doesn't know anything about probably anything that you're doing, but they need you, but they don't know how to get to where they need you.
That's right. Yep. That is right. And you really pointed out, I think that aha moment for me was number one, when you said, well, how are they going to contact you? Why am I having to look forever for that information? And we even had a client that was selling something, and you had to scroll to get to a buy now.
Yeah, it was on a phone, it would be 6-7 scrolls down.
Not good.
Odds are they're not going to make it that far.
No.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the old days. If you ever bought newspaper ads, right? Or you did anything with a newspaper, which a lot of people did, but anything past the fold, is that what they say? Below the fold line. Nobody wanted that because you had to flip it.
Yep.
It was the same kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to just make it so simple.
Yeah.
If you can be the expert, but you have to be able to communicate at like a third grade level. Your website has to work that like a third grader knows where to go.
Yeah.
Well, you say that, but I tell people that I'm pretty convinced that every day you begin your day like reading the updates on Google White Pages or whatever. I mean, how dialed into to all of that you've got to be.
Yeah, honestly, it's more just out of necessity. As soon as it happens for one client and we have to figure out a solution to it, now we have 15 other websites that we've worked on in the last year that we have to contact and say, hey, this is kind of the new standard. I just caught it this morning, so now we need to level you up to get to this point.
Yeah.
And so it's more just out of a necessity, yeah.
How important is SEO? Like actually?
It's extremely important.
Oh, yeah.
It's extremely important. It's more people are going to find you from Google than from knowing your domain. Even if it's a business that you love and trust, odds are you don't have their domain, their URL memorized in the back of your brain.
That's so true.
And so you're going to search their name and hope you land on it.
This is a really good question. So, and
from
it's okay.
Lucas.
It's okay if you don't have the answer because it's kind of unique. But a lot of people are not using Google as much anymore, using ChatGPT. Does ChatGPT use Google's SEO whenever you search for something?
It does.
Okay.
Yeah. And so even with ChatGPT and AI, there's your normal search, and then there's deep search, and it's just going to do its normal search, which is just going to look at that very first couple pages of Google results.
Okay.
So,
But,
so it is super important, even if you are using an AI.
Yes.
yeah.
For your search engine.
Extremely.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
that's the other thing is be careful. And we've had a lot of clients say to us, the first thing they try to sell me is SEO. I've never been comfortable with that at a marketing ad agency to say, I'm going to guarantee you first place. I'm going to talk about the dangers there, the pitfalls.
Yeah. I mean, Google is kind of a pay to play game now. And so your SEO is your baseline. And then on top of that, the first 4 or 5 results every time are going to say sponsored right above, the thing. And that means that they're paying to be there.
I don't trust those people. I always forward through them. Do you guys?
I mean, unless I know them, but
Yeah.
Unless they're my client.
yeah.
Yeah. The hard part is like on phone, it's not as obvious
Okay.
which ones are sponsored.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's tricky to tell. And if you don't really notice that sponsored thing, you're just going to click on the first result. But it's all part of it.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. And when we say pay to play, you don't have to spend a lot. I think if you're doing everything correctly, you can very much be in the ball game with just a smaller investment.
Yeah, especially if you know your audience, you can segment that down so specific that you're only bidding on searches to your customers. You're not wasting money on people that you aren't really targeting.
Yeah. And that's what you should realize is, it's very hard to come up with a dollar amount. Like, how much do I have to spend? Well, there are ways to break that down. Who are you trying to reach? How many people are in that county? How many people are in that town? Yes, I mean, if you're trying to reach the U.S., good luck. We better start somewhere, segmented. But the other thing is, we love video production. We love the photo. We love all of that good stuff. But man, you got to have that site containing any and all words that people may use to try to find that service, right?
Yeah. I mean, and even if some like the videos go out there and they see it on social media, a lot of times when they're not going to go from your social media to your website. They're going to go and search you and find you and then come in that way. So a good video drives people to your website. And so you really have to have both. If you have an awesome website and nothing driving people there, what's the point in the awesome website?
Yeah.
Or if you have awesome content and a horrible website, you're never going to convert anybody.
Yeah.
Same. Gosh, man, it's crazy. I love what you pointed out a moment ago, and we'll get to your accolades here in a little bit. I mean, it's a huge trophy. It's going to take up most of the time. It's a whole thing. But, I love how you mentioned when we notice a problem, we're going to go inform all of our clients that we need to do this. So we use this vision or this picture, this illustration all the time, bringing people up with you.
Yeah.
You don't, right?
Yep.
Is that what you're doing? Is that purposeful?
Yeah. And that's the whole thing is that the market, the industry, whatever it is, it's so broad. It's so massive that if something's working for somebody in Atlanta, Georgia, and you're up here in Peoria, Illinois, we know that's working. We're going to tell you that's not overlapping. You're not competing with that person, but what works here is going to work there. And the same is true with websites. Even if it's a attorney's website to a real estate agent's website, if your contact form's not getting clicked on this one, we need to move the contact form on the other one and make it click there too. Yep.
When do people think that type of request for information, when would they deem that predatory? If it pops up too often or too much or immediately or what?
Yeah, the biggest thing pop-ups get filled out 0.5% of the time.
Okay.
Pop-ups don't get a ton of fill outs. Just because people are tired of them. They're annoying. They just want to find, if you're shopping for something and a pop-up pops up, you might even just leave the site.
Oh yeah,
it's
you're
annoying.
Mad. Yeah.
Especially if there's more than one.
Right.
I've seen websites
The
where
spinning wheel.
people don't realize
Winning.
how many pop-ups they have, and it's
Right.
like, gosh, it's annoying.
It is.
But if you've built up the demand, so it's a little bit different for service website, where to get the information about the business is from filling out the form, but you have to build that need in their mind through the website so that then they're looking to fill out that form at that point.
Absolutely. And, he said it just then, he touched on it. It's so good. It's just a great business plan. We talked about this last podcast. It starts with the image. It starts with the logo. It starts with you're going to name your business. It starts, just how clearly. Now, there are some businesses that you look at the name, especially those on all those giant buildings in places, it's just infuriating because it's like, who is that and what do they do?
Yeah.
What are some of the steps or some of the things that you advise people when they're just starting out?
Yeah, so some of it is people will come to us with a new business and they've already bought their domain.
Yeah.
And their domain is 30 letters long. It's got 2 dashes and a period here, and it's like that's not going to work. We got to find something better.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like rule number 1 is let us kind of help you along the way before you try and start it, and then we have to redo it and undo it. Domain's one of those things that's just a common thing. People try to buy one thinking it's going to get bought quickly, but then what they bought wasn't good.
And everybody thinks they can do their own logo now, and some people do a great job. What were you telling me about? Is it that the internet can recognize Canva, or what's happening with some of those apps you can buy?
Customers can recognize Canva.
Oh.
If you have a bad logo, customers can tell. You know,
Right.
It's there's some logos that you look at and it just feels good, and so if your logo looks like every other business in your industry or every other competitor, that's not great, because then how are you going to stand out? You have no identity. There's nothing unique about you. You look like just a pop-up. You don't want to look like an amateur in business.
Right.
You want to look like you're the expert. And if you have an amateur logo, you're going to look like the amateur business.
Man, it's tough to it's tough to get past that or over that or around that. And there are ways now to test artwork and names and
Yeah, I mean, you can do, so there's a really cool thing, Google reverse engine search. And so you can take your logo, throw it into Google, and it'll search for other similar logos or images that are similar to that. And if you see all of your competitors that look identical, the same colors, the same format, it's like
cool.
you're not going to stand out at all.
Right. Might be a losing battle.
Or the other thing with Canva is just like the copyright of that logo is you're not going to have anything unique that you can trademark, because it's just a generic,
that's right. I bet
a generic
people don't think of
off-brand
that.
logo.
Yeah. Wow.
I didn't even think about that.
Yep.
So true.
Actually owning that logo. Yeah.
And you know, sometimes logos are born because of meanings in a business. It's funny, even ours at Growing Media, which by the way, Ben has reformatted, designed it, whatever. We'll be releasing that soon. But for the longest time, people thought we were a dispensary. They would drive by and so
At this point, maybe we should have been.
you have to be very, very careful with that. And, you know, I do think it's important to have your logo mean something to you, and you really want to get behind that. But if you've seen the greats, they don't change it very much. You know, the swoosh, the McDonald's, they're still advertising. They're still making great videos, and they still make sure all their stuff's updated. But they're not getting too far away from that original.
Yeah, and there's even brands like Pepsi's a great example of this. They've gone backwards.
Yes.
They had done all these new logos, and if you look at their newest ones, Mountain Dew cans are the same way. They went back to like the 90s style. There's something about like 90s logos that has come back because they were so simple and clean and unique. They didn't always follow every like logo rule, but they just work.
That is so right. That's so true.
They're using nostalgia to get them to come back.
Well, some people say that, but let me tell you what I believe. I think people are out of ideas. They're also like, man, let's just steal something from the 80s. It worked.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. But anyway, proof and performance, we say that around here all of the time. Congratulations on being named, I think it's e-commerce website designer of like the century or the year.
Of the year,
the year.
Yep.
I mean,
The
2025.
century.
Yeah, the century. And how is that measured, judged? Just proof and performance, and your clients being super happy, or what?
So part of it was not just you have to upload all these designs of your websites, but then they also wanted to see performance metrics of performance improvement within the first 3 months after your website's launched.
Oh, wow.
And so it was a lot of stuff to like submit to apply for it, but that's what they looked at, was design and then performance.
Love that.
And so they wanted to see percent growth of just top line revenue.
Dang.
And that's why it's so frustrating for us, because I know one of the first ones we worked on together, I think we had something like 189% growth with a very small investment. And yet it was so tough to make the client happy either way. But you can't argue with numbers like that. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
189% growth.
Yeah. Like the return on average spend or
Yeah.
whatever for their ads was so astronomically positive. And then as I asked for increased ad spend to scale it higher, they were
That's when they're
not
like,
happy.
nah. Yeah.
trying to make you more money.
Let's
Doing my
talk
best.
about that. Let's talk about that. So we allude to it and we mention it sometimes, but it's like, okay, well, how much do I put back in? How much of that? You said you have a little bit of a rule of thumb.
Yeah. So I like to scale slowly so that we can ensure we constantly have a
Right.
positive return.
That
so,
it's not a one-off or it wasn't just a great
if you
month.
have a great, say $1,000 a month that you put into ads on Google, and we made you $8,000, for example, just pulling numbers out.
Which we do
Yeah.
all the time.
And then we say, hey, we did $1,000, we made 8. Let's put in 2 and see if we can make 16.
Yes,
It might go down to 14, but that's still very positive.
absolutely.
And so that's kind of the way I like to do it, is where it's very intentional numbers. We're not just every day adding random money to see what happens. And then it's very easy to show the client. It's one of the perks of e-commerce is that you can very easily track the customer all the way through the process.
Yeah.
And show the client and say, hey, look, we got you this customer. They spent this so much money.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Tell us thanks.
So good. Tell us thanks. Send us a card, Christmas card, gifts. I mean, gift card.
Maybe a fruit basket.
Maybe a fruit basket, but you're. That's what I like about you is you're really not trying to break the bank with what you're doing, and you're just encouraging business owners to essentially invest in what they're doing. Now, you may not be having the same conversation with, you mentioned the client in Atlanta, Georgia versus the one in Peoria, Illinois.
Yep.
Probably just because of demographics in the population.
Yeah. And it always depends on their market, who they're marketing to.
Right.
Sometimes you do have to start a little bit higher depending on how big your audience is.
Yeah.
But the customer behavior rules pretty much reign true across wherever we're.
Okay.
Yep.
This is going to be a freebie, so maybe listen up. So a big part of it is real estate, for instance. Good luck putting real estate in Atlanta when you're one of 750 realtors, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give them to somewhat stand out, in particular in the beginning when they're just getting that foothold?
So this is where the content comes in.
Okay.
This is where content is keen, because if there are 100 competitors, the only way somebody's going to choose you over them is if they feel like they know you, they know why you're different, etc. People like to buy from people.
I love that.
And so if it's just a faceless brand out there versus the other one that's got their spokesperson on all of their social media content,
Oh, yeah.
they're going to trust that person over you. And so that's where the content comes in. I honestly think the ads are only as good as the content.
Okay.
If we have a Canva graphic that we're trying to run an ad with versus a awesome minute-long video of the owners explaining their mission, it's very obvious which one's going to perform better.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's good.
And we just had the talk. We actually had a client. Typically, we give you a line item. You can veto a service or whatever you want to do. And they jumped right to one of the more affordable options, which was SEO. The Google ads.
Yeah.
Without any production, without anything, and we opted not to do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is tough to do that, but why would you set somebody up for failure, or not even failure, just not being able to perform as well as they would with a small investment into professional content?
Yeah.
Well, it's just so much harder to show them our value
Right.
whenever we're working against ourselves because we don't have the pieces needed to succeed.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the next big thing is when you start something, I don't know how you say this, but when you start something, just make sure it's an amount that you're not going to dread writing and actually be fearful writing every month, because you got to stay the course. The stop and start stuff kills us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other side of that too, though, in my opinion, is like if you're expecting to spend such a small amount of money that you don't notice it, you're probably not going to notice the benefits either.
Oh.
That's good.
I haven't used that one.
Wow. That's really
You're going to
good.
put such a small, teeny, tiny.
Yeah. If you give us $100, we give you $300. Did you notice?
Yeah.
Right.
It's $1,000. We make you $3,000.
Right.
You'll
Now you're
notice.
noticing.
Yeah.
I always say, just sure we can do it, at a certain level, but just keep your expectations in line with that investment.
Yeah.
But yeah, at $100, it's like lose my number. No, I'm kidding. Did I say that out loud? He says that all the time. No, he doesn't. You do that.
It's okay to have boundaries.
What are your boundaries?
Well, it's not.
Don't say that.
Not $100.
Yeah, so it is a complex world, marketing. But if you aren't marketing, you need to be, because your competitor is.
Yep.
It was really interesting. We had a case the other couple weeks ago or so where we put two people against each other, and we could tell that neither was spending on Google, and we found out just a very little amount they could spend. And I learned from you, when you invest, you get 70% of leads on Google. And you do, and the person who tell me that I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah. So with Google, it's basically a bid.
Okay.
Essentially, and so the other nice thing with Google is it'll show you who's beating you on bids, and so you can start really, really low.
That's cool.
We could see neither one was running ads,
Right.
And so we know, well, let's just start it low because we're going to beat them on every bid.
Yeah.
Realistically, that person's probably going to catch on, start spinning, and so then it becomes the game. But
Right.
yeah, if you're winning every search, you're gonna. Yeah, the first search result gets, I think it's 75%
75% of the leads.
clicks, and then the second is 20, and then it's third, fourth. You're not getting anything.
Man,
Wow, that's crazy.
that's
Yep.
good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Wow.
All right, what else you got? Did we line you up? Did we set it up for you to knock it down, or what did we do?
No, I think that was perfect.
Okay. I
He was
mean,
perfect.
you know, he's the guy. And here's the other thing is when you've entrusted him to do our websites, you're going to see that now. Because that's a big part of it is we hear it all the time with contractors. You know, their house is falling in, but yet they just build beautiful homes. And that's what we had done. I think over more than a decade, we've got really, really comfortable and didn't worry so much about promoting ourselves and the website and the look and all of that. And guess what? Now we're looking at it.
It's time.
Yeah.
How often should people be updating the look and the presence and everything that's out there?
I mean, really pretty often. So
really?
it doesn't have to be an entire site rebuild, but changing your pictures or updating your hero banner every 3 months or so is going to be very helpful.
Okay.
Realistically, if somebody's coming back to your website repeatedly, you don't want it to just
That's
look
right.
like the same website from 2 years ago.
That's so true.
Just
Dang.
it
What
does-
about from 15 years? No, I'm kidding.
Feeling very convicted about my website right now.
No doubt, no doubt. And that is that place, though. You know, I just think you got to have it professional. You got to have it clean. But it is a good idea to have those social channels feeding into it because that is another way to make it look like it's being
Yeah.
updated.
Yep.
You know?
And that stuff all helps SEO.
Yeah.
Every time you have a backlink to your site.
All right.
Dang.
You feel good?
I feel great.
Feel better? Okay. You good?
I'm good.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Did you build the cabinet for the award yet, or what is it?
No, not yet. Just,
Pedestal with a
Yeah.
spotlight?
yeah, it's just sitting there. Yep.
Just sitting there. Well, we want to work for you, so give us a call, and we'll do a good job for you. Measured success. Wake up. I keep telling you that, don't I?
I am awake.
He is. Okay. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Bye.